Hi, my name is Jezlyn and today we are going to discuss Eleanor and Park by Eleanor and Park Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. This is the second book that I have read of Rainbow Rowell, and so far I really love her work. First off, if you have not read the book, Attachments is set in the year 1999. It is the year before the big millennium, and it is basically where emails and technology isn't so advanced. It follows this guy Lincoln. He is working at this newspaper company. He is a IT security guy. So what his job is in the company is basically he will have to check people's email. I know, stalkery, weird. At first I thought, why is he reading some people's email? Like, isn't that stalking? Isn't that against the rules? In the company, you're not allowed to send personal emails. If you do, your email gets flagged and basically it gets dumped into this folder that Lincoln has to go through. Lincoln's job is basically to read the emails that get dumped into that flagged folder. If the person breaks any rules, then he had to send them a warning letter. Or not really a warning letter, like a warning notice. Then there is these two female characters, Jennifer and Beth. So Jennifer and Beth, basically they are sending to and fro personal emails. Every single time their emails gets flagged, which is almost every time, Lincoln has to view their emails. Lincoln has to send them warning notice. But as the story goes on, he slowly finds himself enjoying their conversations instead. So there are moments where he actually questioned himself whether he should send the notice or not, but in the end he decided not to. Now the interesting thing, what happens next is basically he starts falling for one of the girls, and I can't tell you what else is next. My rating for this book is basically 3 out of 5 stars, and I know that there are a lot of people that really love this book. There are people that gave this book a 5 star, there's people that gave this book a 4 stars, but I personally had some issues with this. If you are easily offended or are not able to accept people's opinion that easily, I advise you not to stay on this video, because I do have some things that I kind of do not like about this book. There was a part of me that didn't want to give any negative opinions, but I should be able to give my honest opinion. I have the freedom of speech, so why not? I read this book after Eleanor and Park, and for some reason I was still attached to Eleanor and Park. It took me a while to get into this book. It took me 40 pages to get the momentum of reading this book, and it took me another 20 pages to start enjoying reading this book. So in total, I took about 60 pages to really get into this book, and maybe 60 pages isn't a lot, but to me, I don't read that fast. 60 pages is a lot. The thing that really turned me off about this book is just I took a really hard time to get into this book. I think the setting of this book, where it's emails back and forth, I think the way it was written, it was hard for me to relate. But I'm not saying that this book is bad. The story is good. I love the story. I finished this in 3 days in 4 sittings. That is a big accomplishment for me. This book is so good. It's just that there are parts and things about this book that I personally did not like, that other people may like. 3 out of 5 stars for this. If you guys have not read this book, I advise you to leave this video right now, because I am going to talk about the book. Basically, you're gonna get spoiled if you don't leave this video. So, bye! Okay, so this book, I did not enjoy it as much as Eleanor and Park. I think one reason why I gave this a 3 stars and I gave Eleanor and Park a 4 stars, I enjoyed Eleanor and Park better than I enjoyed this book. First off, Rainbow Rowell's books, it always ends so quickly. Eleanor and Park and Attachments, it ended before I want it to end. Like, I got so sucked into the story, and when I was so sucked in, it just ends there. Now, for most part of the book, the two characters, the two main characters, the two girls, for most part of the book, I can't imagine how they look like, how their faces were, how their physical appearance were. I think that's another one of the reasons why I did not like this book, because I like picturing my characters. It was so hard to imagine Jennifer and Beth without putting a face to it, if you know what I mean. Other than that, I love that Lincoln fell for the personality instead of the looks. Also, the characters Jennifer and Beth, at first it was hard to differentiate the two. I had to remember who was the copy editor, I had to remember who was the reviewer, I had to remember who was the one that had a boyfriend, I had to remember who was the one that had the husband, I had to remember who was the one that was pregnant. Okay, let's talk about the scene. I keep comparing this book to Eleanor and Park. I shouldn't compare it. I just can't help it, you know. I really like the scene how Beth meets her Chris, her boyfriend. Are you mocking me? No. He said, I'm asking you out. Then I'm saying yes. Good. He said, I really like it when guys approach girls in a different way. Chris was so straightforward. He was so straightforward, and I really like that trait of Chris, because most guys, when they approach a girl, they basically start off with a pickup line. Chris knows that Beth have a thing for him, and he took advantage of them in a good way, and he made the best out of situations. Then this thing kind of turned me off a bit. Basically every single time Lincoln tries to meet Beth at her table, she's not there. Like the first time he wanted to go up to her table, he was like, a coffee cup, a half-eaten Toblerone, a puddle of spilled paper clips, and something new, a concert flyer pinned above her monitor. I thought in the beginning that was like maybe like he wasn't able to catch her in the beginning, but every single time he goes to a table, she's not there. Even the time where he wants to quit, where he wants to put the letter on Beth's table, she's not there. Like, you know, for some reason she was able to sense his presence. She just repelled from him. I thought like she was doing it on purpose, like she was avoiding Lincoln in the beginning, but she actually stalked Lincoln. So I was like, how is it that every single time Lincoln goes to a table, she's not there? And then also there's this character of Eve, Lincoln's sister. Now at first I didn't know whether Lincoln or Eve was older, but I think Eve is older. There's this annoying thing about Eve that I didn't like. Like, she was always pressuring Lincoln to move out, to live his life, and Lincoln keeps mentioning in the book that he is okay with living with his mother, but Eve keep telling him to move out, and it's so like, oh, let Lincoln do what he wants, Eve. Let Lincoln do what he wants, okay? If he wanna move out, then he should. There's a scene when Eve goes to Lincoln and his mother's house. Lincoln is always welcome here, their mother said. I'm sure he is, Eve said. He's welcome to rot here for the rest of his life. Lincoln is not rotting, their grandmother said. He isn't living, Eve said. Don't tell me how to raise my son. He's 28 years old, Eve said. Your job is done, he's risen. Sorry. You're never done raising your children, his mother said. You'll see, you're not done until you're dead. It was very hard for me to like Eve because she was really whiny at times. For some reason, she just hates her mother, and it was like, ugh. And then when Eve was leaving, Lincoln was outside of the house playing the children, and then they wanted to go to Wendy's, I think. I'm not sorry about anything I said, she said. It was all true, you are rotting here. Maybe, he said, maybe I'm ripening. I like how Lincoln was still able to like make a joke out of it, even though the situation was pretty intense. Okay, so at first I thought Lincoln was a shy and timid guy. I don't know, for some reason I like imagine him as a shy and timid guy. But then he is described as this big buff guy, and I was like, oh, okay. Then I have to like scrap that image of him in my mind. The only character that I was really able to picture really clearly is Beth. When Beth was written, like the way she was described, it formed a clear, solid picture in my head. And then there's this issue about Jennifer having the baby and Jennifer not wanting to have the baby. Wait, first of all, Jennifer's full name is really hard to pronounce. Jennifer's Scribner Snyder. You try to repeat it like over and over again. Jennifer Scribner Snyder. See what I mean? Like, her name is so long and so complicated. So she announced that she's having the baby. She doesn't want to have the baby. Beth to Jennifer. That doesn't sound creepy. That sounds nice. Jennifer to Beth. Says a woman who isn't incubating a parasitic organism. You make it sound like you have a tapeworm. The scenes when Beth sees Lincoln, it was least expected. I did not expect Beth to see Lincoln at the movie theater. I did not expect Beth to see him at the break room. Is it a break room? There is Beth and Chris. I don't get why Beth still sticks to him for 8 years. Is it 8 years or 9 years? I don't know, but okay, let's stick with 8 years. Like, Chris isn't the affectionate kind of person, and she still sticks with him for 8 years. Why? Maybe she's trying to fix it, but you can clearly see that Chris doesn't care for her. The breakup scene was pretty emotional. I'll always love you, he said, but I need you to know that I'm never going to marry you. But not because I don't love you. I do love you. I love you too much. You're too much. If you don't love a girl, if you don't have any more feelings for the girl, don't play with her feelings. Like, oh, I feel so sad for Bev. I had hope for Chris. Maybe he was the guy that, you know, was tough on the outside but soft on the inside. But no, he really didn't care for Bev, you know. He just cared about his career. It's the same thing as Eleanor and Park. If you guys read Eleanor and Park, it's the same thing as I thought for Richie. I thought Richie was a good guy, but then he wasn't a good guy. Okay, and then there was the movie scene at the end where basically Bev said beside Lincoln, I have to go, I have to. She turned to the empty screen. I can't talk today. Curtains were sliding closed. She crouched to the floor looking for something. My glasses, she said. Was I wearing glasses? They were shoved back into her hair. Lincoln carefully pulled them free. Thank you, she said. Did you watch any of it? There was dancing, right? I'm sure there was dancing. Like, she was so blurred after kissing him that she was like, where's my glasses? Was there dancing? I really like this quote in the book. I didn't know love could leave the lights on all the time. I'm like, so cute. That is the quote that I love out of this whole book. I didn't know someone could love me like this, she said. Could love me and love me and love me without needing space. Lincoln wasn't asleep. He rolled on top of her. There's no air in space, he said. And then the book freaking ends. Why can't you like have one more chapter when they go on a date? Like, why are you always like cutting it so short? Like, I love this book a lot. I'm so excited to read Rainbow Rowell's book. It's just, the stories are so cute. Usually her characters are so cute. The stories are so unique. Okay, I have my laptop with me because I've actually written a blog post about it. I wanna like talk about a few pointers that I talked about in my blog post. Eve was the most annoying. Her children, even her children can't eat real food. Lincoln, I really like this trait about him where he doesn't mind being with his mom. A lot of people don't appreciate being their parents, and I was actually kind of sad when there were a few scenes where his friends was happy that he moved out of his house. Like, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this review. I hope you guys enjoy me talking. Even though it was a 3 out of 5 stars, even though I rated a 3 out of 5 stars, I did enjoy the book. So don't hate me for giving it 3 out of 5 stars. It's just my honest opinion. I did love the book, okay? Don't hate me for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoy my face. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!